Welcome to episode 4 of Translated's adventure around the world in the Ocean Globe Race. My name is Paul Cayard and I'm your host here this week and every week for the next 7 months as we follow Marco and the team in this epic voyage around the world. The Ocean Globe Race is a celebration of the 50th anniversary of the Whitbread Round the World race, widely regarded as the toughest race around the world. I'm here in Gull Lake, Michigan this week, going to get racing in my wooden star boat with my son. The regatta starts tomorrow. This boat means a lot to me. It won the 1964 gold medal in Tokyo. It was sailed by a mentor of mine, a Bahamian man named Durwood Knowles. And I really love coming here and racing in this regatta every year. We have 32 restored boats, as you can see behind me here. They're really beautiful. Marco and Isabel really believe in the human spirit and believe that progress is made by those who reach outside their comfort zone. And as a metaphor for that, Marco found the Ocean Globe Race. And he wasn't a big sailor, he was hardly a sailor at all, but he thought that the race, using the technology of 50 years ago, meaning not very much, using a sextant instead of GPS, for example, really epitomized his belief in humans, and to take on that challenge was definitely out of his comfort zone. So they're out there, they've been doing really well. They're currently in second place. They've been in first place a lot of the race. They are down past the Cape Verde Islands. They're actually dealing with the doldrums now. They're a little more than 3 weeks into the race. They're on schedule for a 6-week trip down to Cape Town. And so we're going to review the tracker and the router as we always do and see how the fleet is doing and what they can expect in the next week. So let's take a look at the tracker and see where the fleet is now and what kind of winds they're dealing with. What we see is that the lead 5 boats are really in battling the doldrums right now. This blue area is an area of no wind and very sporadic gusts of wind, so their progress is a little bit haphazard and random. It's very difficult to know where the wind is. It does look like on this chart that Maiden and Translated 9, which are together right here, and Esprit d'Equipe just behind, that they are making decent progress and possibly threading the needle here between these two really light air spots. They are going 5 knots, where Spirit of Helsinki is only going 1.8 knots. So this is the situation as of today, Wednesday the 27th. The remainder of the fleet is still coming down through the Cape Verdes, enjoying the nice northeasterly winds of the Azores high, making good progress, and they're all clumped together right here. With the lead group, Penduik 6 did better over the last 24 hours. Here we see the big light spots of the doldrums, and then the prevailing southerly and southeasterly winds once the group gets on the other side of the doldrums. And of course, these winds up here to the north are the northeasterly winds that are circulating around the Azores high. So this is the intertropical convergence zone. We see the blotchy area of no wind, and the boats are battling their way through here. Recently, we see that Penduik has taken the lead in the IRC fleet, and that move translated into second place, and I believe Maiden's in third. Spirit of Helsinki got very slow yesterday. You can see their track meandering around here. This hole was over on top of them. Currently, they are only going 1.8 knots. So while these other boats are going about 4 or 5 knots. So it's slow going. It is the doldrums, and hopefully for their sake, they'll be out of it in about 24 hours. Now let's take a look at the router and see what's in store for the teams in the week coming up. European models to route the boat over the next 5 or 6 days. Starting point is Penduik's position today, Wednesday the 27th, and the point B is again an estimated position on the way into Cape Town down here. And what we see here as features is the South Atlantic High starting to establish itself a little bit with this counterclockwise circulation, and the doldrums up here where the fleet currently is and is battling their way through it. If we advance the router, that's 2 days, what it looks like for Penduic, and it'll be the same for Translated 9 and Maiden and Esprit d'Equipe certainly, and possibly Spirit of Helsinki. They will be in nice southeasterly trades that are spinning around the South Atlantic High. Now down here in the bottom of the screen you see a feature of a low pressure system coming across out of Rio de la Plata, and it has clockwise circulation. And we also see another low pressure, high pressure, bubble here, which at the moment looks like a roadblock to the fleet's progress. But let's advance the router a few more days and see what happens here. This would be on Sunday, October 1st. We see the high eroding and shifting to the east, so that's good news for the fleet. And yes, it is opening up. So the high bubble of no wind basically eliminates itself, and we are left with southeasterly winds. Penduic should be in this position on Tuesday, October 3rd, which is 6 days out. You know, at this point, the router is losing its accuracy. So what's coming up for the fleet the next 6 days is pretty good sailing, southeasterly breezes. That means they're close hauled on port tack, bouncing around a bit. There'll be some wave action, but these are 10 to 15 knot winds. And again, once they liberate themselves from the doldrums, which they're currently battling up here, they should be on their way to Cape Town. So that's a wrap for episode 4. Marco and the gang have undoubtedly endured some tough times in the doldrums there, but I think they're just on the cusp of good, smooth sailing. As we can see, it's going to be kind of upwind sailing. It'll be a little bumpy, but nonetheless, they're going to get moving again and leave the frustrations of the doldrums behind. So once again, I'm sure they've tested their friendships and their camaraderie, and I'm sure they're all believing in humans.